October 14th, 2025. That's when Windows 10 loses support, and I will leave Windows behind. And when I say I'm leaving Windows, I mean I'm leaving Windows, the operating system, as a whole, and will be moving over to Linux. I have an extremely old computer. It's perfect for Windows 10, but not for Windows 11, its successor. To put context here, I'll tell you the specs of my computer. The same one that I stream, I play games, I talk to my friends on, I edit videos, the whole deal. I have an Intel i5-2400 with an NVIDIA GT 1030, 16 gigs of DDR3, all slapped together into an Optiplex 3090. This shit is older than some of my nieces and nephews. To put this computer, if you can call it that, in context, it struggles to start with an SSD. As of recording, I'm currently looking for other PC options, but I have to deal with the computer that I have right now. Some of you might not be surprised by this. Others might be surprised by this. Some might say this is a bit extreme for you, to uproot everything and switch over to what is an unfamiliar platform, and I say, it is. But god damn it, I'm getting really fucking tired of hearing about the next shitty update after another from Microsoft when it comes to the Windows 11 platform. I'm backtracking here because I want to express how long I've been using Windows for. I started school back in 2005. When I started school in my hometown, they had just gotten the latest in technology. 20 or so odd computers with Windows XP, fully loaded, ready to go. From there, we had an hour a day with these computers to learn as much as we can on these old as fuck websites that are either gone now or filled with malware. We had been told to learn as much as possible because these computers were eventually going to be widespread everywhere. I had eventually moved from that place and went to different schools and had more or less the same concept. Learn as much as you can within an hour to get better, to understand the future of technology, as well as we got into stupid shit, but we really did some dumb shit, but we learned. We learned as much as we could, and by the time I was in 4th grade, I was held back a few years, but I'll explain that in another time. It's now 2012, and we were no longer using XP. We were now on Windows 7, and they no longer allowed us to go on the internet and fuck around for an hour. These schools had partnered with a company called iStation, and what iStation did was make educational games for kids to learn and apply these skills to paperwork that we had to turn in. We did this for a few years, and when I went from elementary to middle school, we had phones in our pockets that could do anything that the computers could do back in 2005, but better. By that time, I had gotten into 7th grade, and we really didn't have a reason for computer classrooms, only computers being in a few classes, and we had 4 in the library. Now, this is around the early days of Windows 10, and I thought to myself, wow, I want a computer that has Windows 10 on it. A few years later, I'd get my own computer, and yes, it had Windows 10. And wow, that was a really long tangent, and I'm sorry for my ADHD kind of coming out. But let me cut to the chase here, and somewhat summarize this section. To put it in blunt terms, I have been a Windows user for over 15 years. So why switch now? Well, like I said, my computer can't handle Windows 11, and even if I did get a new computer, I don't want to deal with the shithole that is Windows 11. Windows 11 was rolling out a feature called Recall. Basically, the OS, or operating system, would take a screenshot and upload it to a backup file. Seems harmless, right? And even if it was harmless, just turn it off. You couldn't though, and it wouldn't allow you to. Windows Recall was on permanently, no matter what you wanted. The problem with Recall was that it would take screenshots every 5 seconds and would basically capture everything. Passwords, emails, birth records, and even shit like personal photos. Microsoft has since canned the idea of it being on all the damn time, and Windows 11 will allow you now to turn it off. But the simple fact that it wasn't widely known that it was on to begin with was a major problem. Another reason why I don't like Windows 11? It's just clunky, and most video games struggle due to the massive amounts of processes going on. Things that would basically make the system run. Windows 10 basically is the best way to game when it comes to computers, and yet it's losing support because Microsoft wants the Windows numbers to go up in 11's favor. You might be asking, why Linux? Doesn't it have support issues as well? Not really, and to be honest, you can practically play most of games on Steam, because Valve uses a Unix-based kernel for its SteamOS. Unix is basically the backbone for most, if not all, Linux distros, and Valve has made a software called Proton, basically allowing all Steam games to play and run on Linux. Plus, who the hell is gaming on a Mac? I also don't really have the money to throw at a $1,000 to $6,000 cheese grater. Other than that, I really don't see a reason to keep Windows after Windows 10, especially if it loses support, other than if Windows 12, if they name it that, is 100 times better than Windows 10 and 1,000,000 times better than Windows 11. I love Windows, and I hate that it's going down like this. But honestly, I've been debating this for the last few years or so. Moral of the story, fuck Windows 11, rest in peace Windows 10, we still love you. If you want more content like this, please like the video. Other than that, I hope you have a good day, morning, afternoon, evening, or good night, and I'll see you later.